It is now time for our usual Thursday segment. Kim Young-dae is back to the culture, and joining us back in the studio once again is Young-dae. Young-dae, hello to you.
Yo.
Yo, what's up?
What's up?
What up?
What up?
What up?
Know what I'm saying?
East Coast, West Coast?
East Coast, West Coast.
Yo, Biggie. No.
LBC representing.
I'm going to really... What? Representing what?
LBC.
What's LBC?
Long Beach, California.
Not NYC, LBC.
My homie.
Is that where your hometown is? No, it's not. It's not even near there.
So.
We're going to be talking about K-hiphop.
And I'm a true hip-hop fan.
I'm a true hip-hop fan.
Yeah, LBC, Compton.
Well, I mean, I was East Coast, right?
Coast,
so
okay.
I grew up listening
Bronx.
to Biggie. The other...
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z was later on. Nas was pretty good. Nas was around, he was from Queens too. And I remember there was I was too young to go into that particular pool hall. But I remember Nas, I believe, he hung out at a particular pool hall in Elmhurst in Queens. And I remember as kids, we always wanted to check out Nas and want to go there. But of course, we weren't allowed to go.
My all-time hip-hop track, Nas, New York State of Mind.
Nas, New York State of Mind?
Yeah.
That's right, because Jay-Z has Empire State of Mind. For a second, I was like, Nas. Jay-Z's Empire State of Mind, which is one of my favorite songs. Nas, you're right. And I mean, I just grew up listening to hip-hop as a kid. Like, it was Fat Joe, Big Pun. I don't know if you saw my my Instagram post. I've been teaching my 4-year-old kid how to rap.
Yeah.
And so that
you're driving, rapping, right?
And so
you're good.
That song was Twins. It was a song called Twins by Fat Joe and Big Pun.
Yeah.
It was from the early 90s out there. But I grew up listening to, the thing is, I grew up listening to hip hop. And then later on, K-hip-hop became a thing. And for you, though, I want to always ask, because I asked you last time, as a music critic, how do you feel about cover songs, right? And you said you're not a big fan of cover songs. But as a music critic, how do you feel about hip-hop music? Because this is another genre that I think a lot of music critics have mixed feelings about.
Yeah, I mean, I have two different egos
Okay.
here in my mind. Because, I mean, I'm a original Korean hip-hop fan. No, okay. I'm actually a part of all the Korean underground hip-hop movement.
What?
As a kid.
What?
Yeah.
Did you rap?
I did some.
Like freestyling?
No, I just kind of copied a lot of materials. Well, back in the days, we didn't have a original material.
Right.
But we have like this online like African-American black music community. So it used to have a kind of Korean OG rappers in the same community, like P-Type, Bubble
P-Type,
Jeans.
yeah.
We were hanging out.
Really?
Yeah, I was young, because I was older.
Right.
I'm older than them, but I watched them. I still vividly remember the how we perform as an amateur.
Isn't that incredible how a lot
of these... It was
1996.
1996. Representing Naonuri.
what? It's called Naonuri?
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, when we talk about hip-hop, I mean, hip-hop's actually originated in the States,
right.
in the Bronx, very particular underground, like local subculture, right?
Yeah, that's where Fat Joe, Big Pun, all of them Bronx, they're from,
community. But in Korea, it wasn't really about race, ethnicity, no particular ethnic group. It was more about a dance culture.
Was there, how, I mean, this is always kind of a controversial thing, where the home birthplace of hip hop is in the United States. They'll say, the East Coast in New York City, the Bronx,
obviously
right?
Bronx.
They'll say the West Coast and Compton and things like that. But about
they came along?
Right, they came along. That's what I think. But here in Korea, is there like a birthplace of hip hop here in Korea?
Well, if you really have to choose one like physical location, I would say it's a Moon Night, the nightclub in Itaewon.
Oh, really?
It's originally the foreigners district,
right.
Foreigners exclusive nightclub for the U.S. armies, U.S. soldiers. But later on, it's becoming a kind of like a like a place for a lot of competition, dance culture, local and the foreigners, mingling with each other, doing some stuff, copying some stuff, learning some stuff. And that's how Korean hip hop all started.
It's just incredible because, and also you talking about the underground hip hop scene, I think is quite
So
interesting.
it was
because-
basically a dance culture.
Yeah, so it started off
There
as
wasn't a really rap culture or DJing culture.
it was
at the
dancing
time.
to the songs that have hip hop music in
yes,
it.
more of a b-boy culture.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that, how did that later on evolve into now let's start rapping and create this underground hip hop culture? Because what's interesting is a lot of the big name hip hop artists now, even for example like Samdi, right,
They're
Simon
rappers.
Dominic, they were underground.
Yeah.
We're going to be mentioning another hip hop group later on who started off as underground. But how did that evolve into? Who would you say is like the father of hip hop here in South Korea? Because now the younger people are going to say people like, Tiger
It's hard to
JK,
say.
things like that. But it goes a little bit before that.
So it's kind of like a half and half, but I would say Hyun Jin Young was close to what hip hoppers was all about.
And he
at the
brought
time.
the African American
He
dance culture
brought the
too.
dance.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
brought the attitude, the fashion, especially the rap, and the whole kind of this like Afro-American kind of vibe to the Korean mainstream music or gayo.
Right.
서태지와 obviously they're the front runners in terms of how they popularized the idiom of hip hop.
Right.
Also fashion, especially the stage performance is absolutely the one of the greats.
Right.
And 서태지, he obviously was aware of this whole new movement. That's why 서태지, former bassist of legendary hard rock group Shinawi,
Right.
became a more of a kind of dance music producers, and he brought two best underground dancers at the time, Lee Juno and Yang Hyun-seok, because he was aware that this new movements has already started. So he consciously, tried to make a semi hip hop group. Even though at the time we didn't really see that as genuine original hip hop thing, but it was at least a part of part of the hip hop culture. In general, they brought New Jack Swing elements,
Right.
and some hip hop moves, and dance culture, and some attitude.
So when 서태지와 아이들 was formed, and you notice that there's not a lot of singing coming from Lee Juno or like Yang Hyun-seok, they were specifically brought in for their dance skills, was what it was initially.
Yeah,
Ooh.
but they have to obviously they have to
Sing.
rap
Yeah.
at some point,
Right.
because I mean it should be a song, right? So they started the rapping, even though at the time the rhyming skills and everything, the flow was rather simple, and we Korean never really believed that the Korean is a kind of suitable language for rapping, because they didn't actually figure it out. They couldn't figure it out how
Right.
to use the different kind of different snares and the different type of division of rhythms to make a kind of interesting rhyming. So at the time it was really simple, and sometimes it didn't have any kind of rhyming at all.
No, it did. It was words that were made up.
Yeah, just rapping some words over dance beats. That was it. But here's the really important piece. He wasn't a rapper. He wasn't a dancer. But somehow he came up with the earliest example of Korean rap music. His name is Hong Se-bum.
What?
And the song is legendary. It is kind of miraculous attempt by the heavy rock singer Hong Se-bum.
And it's called Kim Sakgat.
Yeah, it was a song
Sounds
about
like rock.
poet, the real person, Kim Sakgat.
But this sounds very heavy metal
No,
with the electric guitar, and then I guess the rapping
I
part's
mean,
gonna
you
come
remember Run DMC, Public Enemy at the
true,
time?
true.
There were in earlier hip hop there was a lot of like rock elements. This is a remix. I think this is a remix.
This is a remix version?
Yeah. Yeah, but again, I don't think it's original.
Yeah, it sounds okay. So I guess rhythm-wise,
this is not original. But if you really listen to the original version, you can definitely see Hong Seobum was clearly aware of this new hip hop beat arrangement. And the important thing is the structure of narrative. Talking about one historic person, why he's important, how he lived, how he kind of struggled and survived, and so talking about this person in rap form, that's very hip hop. It's not just dance music, but he clearly aware of this kind of verbal tradition,
right?
Yeah, and he attempted, even though it wasn't as sophisticated as it is right now.
What's interesting? I find it interesting that you mentioned that it was more simple back in the days because I remember I grew up loving hip hop music, and I remember being able to memorize the lines and being able to rap to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then nowadays, when you have guys like, for example, like Simon Dominic, BY, and those guys in that rap. And even if I go to 노래방 and try to rap with the lyrics in front of me, I can't keep up with the beat and the rhythm and things like that. It's so much more complicated. Whereas back in the days, it was much simpler.
Yeah.
And for me, remember, growing up, even though his name is...
What was your favorite rap track that you can...
This song just opened my eyes. And it just changed. I went from going, liking Jay-Z... and Biggie and Tupac.
So it is not Kim Gonmo, right?
No, it's not. It's not. See, I knew that song, but Drunken Tiger us in New York City, for us, I was in middle school back then when this song 위대한 탄생 came out, and it opened my eyes, and I said, "Oh my goodness." Koreans can rap like this. Koreans can make hip hop music like this.
Our producer said the original Kim Saka was ready.
Oh, is it ready?
This is it.
This is the original.
You can definitely see the sign of earlier American hip hop, like Run DMC and other.
Yeah, this is completely different from the other song that I heard.
Pop rap kind of influence. Yeah, you'll be surprised. This is real for me.
Oh, see, now I hear hip hop now. So this is Kim Saka, the original version.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of remix type of like a DJing skill there, synthesizer.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. You were mentioning Run DMX, and I was like, before I heard the remix version, I was like, I don't hear Run DMX in that one. And it added the Eastern
very
influence into it.
See?
Yep. And when was the song released?
1988.
Holy cow! Wow.
Yeah, it was way before the 서태지와 아이돌.
Yeah, to see, definitely for sure, this has a.
Yeah, even though it sounds kind of simple, the rap, the flow itself.
It's the Run DMX style of hip hop music.
But for me, the striking thing about this song is it is not about love or kind of like casual relationship. It is strictly about a disfigure and the history. And he really. So it's about the storytelling. So he rediscovered somehow this rock singer. Yeah,
that is crazy.
That's crazy, right?
I mean, see? I like it. It does remind me of old school hip hop music.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the first time I heard this.
1988.
88. Yeah. This is way
before Hyunjin Young or Seo-taeji. Yeah, they were still dancing at the nightclub at the time. They couldn't figure out how they would be able to transform that kind of underground move to the mainstream realm. But Hong Seobum, this guy, he did it. He did it.
Yeah. And again, when it comes to hip hop lyrics of it, I mean, you're telling a story, and that's what I like about. What I usually like about hip hop music is when you just read the lyrics only. It sounds like a story, or it sounds like a poetry.
Yeah.
And so that's why I really liked it.
Yeah. Nowadays, hip hop is more of just kind of showcasing the flow skills and kind of sleek beats and everything.
Yeah.
But back in the day, hip hop is more about about the message. That reminds me of the legendary song, the message, Grandmaster Flash and Grandmaster Flash and
I haven't heard that name in such a long time.
Do you remember the name Grandmaster?
No,
Flash?
I do remember.
Yeah. OG.
OG. That's OG hip hop here.
Yeah.
But going back to my middle
Tone
school.
Lock.
Middle school days, when I heard Drunken Tiger's 위대한 탄생,
that was a game changer.
the great rebirth.
Absolutely legend.
All of us in New York City and Queens, I was in middle school, all of my Korean American friends, we were all blasting this song in a mini boombox that we had.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So before Tiger JK came out, we obviously had a kind of hip-hop tinged New Jack Swing type of music. 서태지 did his own thing. 현진영 did his own thing. And also a lot of like dance groups and everything. You know, even 신해철 and 공유롭이 did their own kind of hip-hop style music. But he's the first one actually that came with very authentic, aka American.
No, because these two guys are two Korean Americans that came in.
Obviously.
Because Mark, who's DJ Shine, right, the lesser known of the two Drunken Tigers, you have Tiger JK, and then Mark. I think Mark is now his name is Mark, DJ Shine, Mark.
Now you realize that there are three different roots in Korean hip hop.
Yeah.
One, underground dance movements. Two, Korean local like hip hop community underground musicians like Bubble Jeanton,
right.
type. And this is the third, probably the most important like stream. Korean Americans.
Yeah, and then you see more and more of them come out later on. Eventually, Steve Yu comes out.
Are we allowed to say that name?
Yeah, Steve Yu comes out. What else is? What other names were there? I mean, we also solid.
John Lee, Ijun was absolutely beast. I mean, he's technically, I think, one of the greatest MC in Korean hip hop.
Former DJ of Arirang Radio, Young Kim. He went by John Kim, and he was the rapper for Uptown and also for Sharp.
Uptown, absolutely.
Uptown and Sharp.
Yeah.
So Uptown had a number of
sure.
Korean Americans, right?
Sure.
Sharp had
Tasha. Yeah. Steve. Are we allowed to say the name?
Steve
too?
Yu, that's his name.
Whoa, two Steves. Whoa. Nasty. In two different ways.
Let's move to another group that we need to mention because I could not believe it, but you are saying that they're going into their 20th anniversary since debut.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about Epic High.
Epic High.
I
just can't believe they made it.
I think Epic High was that group that sort of also revolutionized hip-hop.
Yeah.
Because I think there was a point where it was like a dead moment era in hip-hop. And everything was going into like, just a pop music, right? Just a girl group, boy group and things like that. And there was like no one kind of representing the hip hop culture. And then Epic High comes out. And I remember when I heard this song, Love, 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 which if you're a real true OG gangster, you don't rap about love. But so I was like, what is this? Who are these guys? And I heard this and I said, I like it.
Unless you're not Marky Mark. Unless you're Marky Mark.
This song was one of my favorite songs. And of course, Tablo, who studied over in the United States, which then he brought in the hip-hop culture.
Here's the thing. Well, first of all, the big shout out to the Epic High and Tablo because I mean they made it to Rolling Stone magazine feature.
That's right.
God, I just couldn't believe my eyes. It's not Rolling Stone Korea, Rolling Stone US Rolling Stone, and they published an article about Epic High and their significance. Amazing. But I think the debut of Epic High was the most important moment for Korean commercial hip-hop.
Yeah.
I think it was a kind of watershed moment. Because before the debut of Epic High, we already talked about the two different streams, right? The three different streams, dancers and Korean underground and Korean Americans. But for some reason, Epic High kind of successfully combined all of these different
Genres.
in one package, right?
It's not just straight hip hop. They see this
is
like
dance
voices like
music.
this. It's dance music
is
plus
dance
hip hop.
music.
Yeah.
And they definitely have kind of like a kind of foreign influence as a Canadian American and a Korean American. And at the same time, they have a rhyming and DJing skills, as a Korean independent indie hip hoppers.
I just found it so interesting when they first came. You had Tablo, who is the main rapper, and then you have Misra Jin, who's the sub
DJs. They have two DJs.
They have two DJs. Technically.
That's a really interesting.
So Two
format.
Cut is the guy who's always in the back doing the. But I found that so cool because I'm like, instead of just playing MR, he's actually back there playing this music and adding the.
It's kind of like Public Enemy, right? Terminator X DJing.
20 years.
20 years. And I mean, without the success of Epikai, Korean hip hop might have not been gone mainstream. Like today.
You're absolutely right, and I think nowadays I think it's kind of settled down a bit. A few years back, I would say about maybe six years ago, there was a huge boom in the hip hop industry.
Show Me the Money.
Show Me the Money just revolutionized hip hop again. And then I want to ask you this: do you watch Show Me the Money now? Recently?
Not these days.
Not these days.
I think it's. I'm kind of sick and tired of this format.
So
I don't really find it refreshing.
That's the thing. I don't.
But I there's no doubt that Show Me the Money was the reason why, Korean hip hop exists like today.
And why hip hop artists are not starving, but they're making a lot of money.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, when I was watching Show Me the Money, the reason why I watched
what's your problem?
I watched season 4 and 5, right? And I stopped at 5. The reason for that is because when I was watching 4, I never heard of BY, right? I've never heard of C-Jam is, I think he's a problem rapper, right? But names like that.
Okay.
I've never heard of all these people, and then they come out. There a lot of these underground hip hop artists come out. And they're so talented, they're so good. And I'm going, oh my gosh, there's hidden talents out there that we're discovering. But you watch like nowadays, all these guys who are already established hip hop artists, right? Like when Hash Swan came out in Show Me the Money, I think it was 5, I think it was 6. 6. I was like, he's already an established, he was underground, but he's established now. You have a lot of these guys. Who's that guy that likes tonkatsu all the time?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get it because I mean,
it's not a competition
in the
anymore.
earlier season. Yeah, it was more of the competition, more of the discovering new talents and the bringing talents to the next level. Right? These days, it was just for the show. Yeah,
and so which is why I'm not a big fan of it.
Not really huge. Beneficial to the scene itself.
No.
So that's that's a shame. But again, there's no doubt that the Show Me the Money made the Korean hip hop.
And I think also it led to the evolution of another level of hip hop because it's no longer that simple hip hop that we're used to listening to, and it's so complex. And I don't know how they're able to keep up with the beat and the different rhythms of the hip hop these days. But it is, it's appeasing to the ear. But do you think hip hop is going to be one of those things like rock, trot, music that never dies? Would hip hop be a genre that will continue on?
I think hip hop has already become probably the most important music genre ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I think the scenes has been changed. So if you listen to any kind of song, like whether it's pop, rock, sometimes country, R&B, they always have some sort of like a hip hop influence there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you. Well, again, for our listeners out there, I hope you guys enjoyed this talk on hip hop music. It was talking about history and talking about the evolution of hip hop. Unfortunately, this is all the time that we have. Young-dae, as always, thank you very much for joining us for the latest in Back to Culture, and peace, yo.
Yo, peace. I'm out.
You can listen to Korea Now with me, SJ Lee, by downloading the Arirang Radio application or tune in online by visiting www.arirangradio.com. So make sure you tune in Mondays through Fridays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Korea time.